Right, hello guys, and welcome to today's video. And today's video is going to be a Kilo 141 best class setup. And the reason I'm kind of doing this is because we all know this gun is pretty dominant in Warzone right now. You know, every streamer is using it, every YouTuber is using it, every person playing in these tournaments is using the Kilo. But I've noticed in multiplayer a lot of the time, I'm not getting killed by people using Kilos, and I rarely see a Kilo in the feed, and I can't understand why. So today, I made a class setup, which you're going to see right now, which is the muzzle being the monolithic suppressor, the barrel being the Singuard Arms 16.6 SOCOM, the underbarrel being the Commando Foregrip, the ammunition being the 50 round mags, and finally, the rear grip being the stipple grip tape. And that's all you need, in my opinion, to make not only just the best Kilo class setup, but I believe the best weapon in multiplayer. Simply because this gun has not been nerfed since the launch of the game. And not only that, this is the most consistent feeling, one of the most accurate guns in the entire game. And I can't understand why no one uses this in multiplayer. And in today's video, you're going to be seeing an insane 79 and 10 gameplay where I do join in progress into a Promenade game. I don't start off too hot, but I pick up the pace, I get a couple of kill streaks, and we just go ham on the other team. And again, it ends up being a 79 and 10 gameplay. So yeah, enjoy the rest of this video, and let's get right into today's gameplay. Right, hello guys, and welcome to the gameplay section of today's video, which is going to be me showcasing a 79 and 10 gameplay with the Kilo. Now warning, I don't start this game too hot, but don't worry, I pick up the pace, I go on a bit of a streak, and we somehow pull off a pretty insane 79 and 10 gameplay whilst joining an in-progress game of Promenade. Somehow we weren't spawn capped before I joined. Normally when I join a game in progress of Promenade, we normally have one flag or the other team has a VTOL up, but we pulled it off with the Kilo. And today's video is just kind of about the Kilo and kind of how it's probably one of the most underused and underrated guns in multiplayer, which is quite crazy to say considering the Kilo at the moment is the most dominant Warzone gun, okay? There's no if, buts or maybes about it. Every streamer's using it, every YouTuber's using it, every person who's playing in these Warzone tournaments is using the Kilo. But if you look, especially in today's gameplay, see if you can spot it in the feed, anyone else using the Kilo besides myself. This is something I've noticed and I cannot get my head around it, is why people aren't using the Kilo in multiplayer. So I used it myself because I wanted to see how this thing stacks up in multiplayer right now. You know, that things have changed a lot. You know, M4's been nerfed a few times, the Graw's been nerfed, the MP5's been nerfed, but the Kilo has managed to remain untouched. It has not been touched, I believe, since the start of the game. The Kilo is the same Kilo since the launch of the game. The only things that are different for the Kilo, realistically, are the attachments that have been nerfed and buffed secretly, some not so secretly, such as the Merc Foregrip, the Commando Foregrip, monolithic suppressor, things like that. All these attachments have changed at some point in the game, whether we know about it or not. And this part of the video, I want to talk about my class up and what makes this class up so good, because you're going to see in this video that this is a laser, this weapon, and I cannot understand why people don't use this gun. Has a great kill time, has a decent fire rate, it's good at short range, it's good at medium range, it's good at long range, and it has no recoil. Like, I don't understand. It's the most consistent feeling gun you could possibly use in the entire game, and in my opinion, it's the best multiplayer gun and the best Warzone gun, simply because of the fact it just hasn't been nerfed compared to every other gun. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the class setup, which you guys have seen from the intro, and hopefully would have already made the class setup and hopefully being ready to use this. But let's get into it. So first of all, I chose my muzzle. I chose the monolithic suppressor. This gun has no recoil, so there is no need to use the compensator in my opinion. Like, there is absolutely no vertical recoil, and even if there is, it is not hard to control vertical recoil. You know, it's not something that is extremely, like, how do I put it, extremely high on this gun. It's pretty much laser accurate, and you almost don't even need to touch the stick. It's that accurate. So I went with the monolithic suppressor because why would you not want more damage? Why would you not want to have your gun suppressed and just be off the radar? Nothing. There's no downsides to that. Obviously, you got the aim down sights being the aim walking centers that are downsides, but we have some attachments to fix that. You guys know what I'm like with my attachments. I like to fix the problems that some of these attachments cause. And the monolithic suppressor does have a slight aim down sight speed issue, but we can fix that with attachments that I've got coming up. So let's move on to it. Next, the barrel. Now, I did a video a long time ago with the Kilo when this game first launched, and I did use the 19.8 Prowler. But on this class setup, I am using the 16.6 SOCOM, and the reason for this is because the only con for this is aim down sight speed, whereas the Singuard Arms 19.8 has aim down sight speed and movement speed. And in my personal opinion, just from using both of them, the penalty, the movement speed and the aim down sight speed just feels like such a heavy penalty with the 19.8 Prowler. Whereas with the 16.6, it doesn't feel like there's much of a change with the aim down sight speed. Now, that might be because of the one of the other attachments that I've got on this gun that might negate what this the negative of this attachment. But to have better damage range, better bullet velocity, and better recoil control, and honestly, I do not notice anything different with the damage or bullet velocity whatsoever compared to the 19.8. So, in my personal opinion, use the 16.6. I believe it's basically like using the 19.8 without having a movement speed penalty, and what's not to like about that? So yeah, use the 16.6 SOCOM. Honestly believe it's the best barrel for this gun, because it gives you the damage, and it gives you only an aim down sight speed penalty, and not having to deal with the movement speed penalty of the 19.8 Prowler. Next up, Underbarrel, Commando Foregrip. This gun has a little bit of side-to-side recoil, you know, the horizontal recoil that is pretty hard to control, but it's very little on this gun, and I just felt like to make it even more accurate than what it already is, I decided to use the Commando Foregrip. You know, recoil stabilization, aiming stability, makes this gun so laser accurate, just you're not going to be missing, you know. And people said this gun is meant to be the replica of the ACR or something. Putting this attachment on this gun definitely makes this like the ACR of the good old days. It is extremely accurate, and you won't be missing shots if you're using the Commando Foregrip, so definitely use that attachment. Movement speed is a penalty, not really that big of an issue, honestly, especially with no one really using attachments like no stock of that anymore, because at the moment everyone's basically moving at the same speed now. No one's using attachments with a lot of movement speed anymore, because they're not really that beneficial anymore. So yeah, use the Commando Foregrip, fantastic attachment, makes this gun absolutely laser accurate. Going to be hard to miss shots than it is going to be hitting them, put it that way. Next up, ammunition. I did put the 50 round mags on. Again, aim down sight speed and movement speed are some penalties of having this magazine, but you want to have them extra magazines. I don't believe, it just feels weird in this game. It feels like a 30 mag magazine just isn't enough in some situations. Maybe that's because I'm playing ground war and there's a lot of gunfights that happen very quickly and you get kind of constant action. Because a lot of times you're going to see in this gameplay, for instance, there's a lot of times where I have to get a 3-piece or a 4-piece, and I do need those extra bullets, and I just like the feel of using the 50 round mags. I don't know if it's because it just lowers the movement speed. For some reason in this game, it feels like a lower movement speed is just a lot better than having a higher movement speed. I don't know why. I feel like it makes it so much easier to be able to use your gun and just shoot a lot straighter. It's a very, very weird thing in this game. Whereas in previous games, having a higher movement speed used to make your, you know, it a lot easier to control your shot at distance. But in this game, it just feels like having less movement speed seems to be the way to go. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the kill time being so fast. I don't know. But I'd go the 50 round magazine. Don't need 60, that's just overkill. It's 10 extra bullets and you're just giving yourself more of a mobility on your movement, which you don't really want to be doing. So yeah, 50 round magazine. And then finally, to fix all these negatives, which you probably have noticed is the aim down sight speed, we gotta fix it. And to do that, we've used the stipple grip tape. The reason we're not using a laser is because this is multiplayer. In multiplayer, it is quite easy to spot the laser, and you know, you're going to be seen quite easily. Even if you try to like not allow people to see your laser, a lot of times there's going to be moments where you want to aim down sight, and if you aim down sight with the I believe it's tac laser, they are going to see your laser, and it's going to, like, people are just going to pre-fire you, jump around the corner, do whatever, because they know where you are. So using the stipple grip tape, obviously you get no laser. That means, you know, no one's going to see you when you're aiming down sight, and you can pre-aim corners and stuff. But you have a faster aim down sight speed, so this negates all the penalties of having, you know, a worse aim down sight speed from the attachments we've used, such as the barrel, such as monolithic suppressor. This just negates that. And on top of that, we get a better sprint to fire speed, which is useful for those up close situations, because this gun can do it. This gun can actually do the up close situations quite well. It handles itself quite well. Obviously, you're not going to gun the MP5, I'd say, like 9 times out of 10. But it does give you a fair chance, about a 5, I'd say a 50-50 chance if you know how to play your gunfights correctly. You have a solid chance of winning that gunfight with the Kilo. So yeah, and that is it. That is all the attachments you need to make what I believe is just the best AR now in just the entire Modern Warfare. It's by far and away the best AR in Warzone, and I don't think anyone can disagree with that. And in my opinion, I just believe this is the best AR in multiplayer in general, because it's just so consistent. It has consistent damage output, has consistent recoil. What's there not to like about this gun? So yeah, that is it for today, guys. That is the gameplay, a 79 and 10 gameplay that is about to end. So as you can see, we've defconned them. Pretty typical Promenade to, you know, have the other team spawn trapped and then end the game by flag caps. Could have probably got more kills if we let them have a flag, but unfortunately the other team didn't get a chance to get on the flag. As you can see, my teammates are calling in gunships as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you're using this class setup. This class setup is absolutely insane. This gun is the most dominant gun in Modern Warfare. And I don't know if it's going to get nerfed. I just don't think it's going to get nerfed. I just believe it's too consistent. That's the big problem with the Kilo. It's not overpowered in any way. It's just really consistent. So yeah, make sure you give this class setup a try in multiplayer. You know, we know this gun's dominant in Warzone, but give this shot if you guys play multiplayer. Give this class setup a shot. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, notifications on, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye!